Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Breath and Flow Yoga. My name is Katie, and I'll be guiding you through your practice this morning. All you'll need is your mat, and if you would like something comfortable to sit on, go ahead and grab that as well, like a pillow or just a blanket or a block. Today we're going to work on our hips a little bit more through a flow. It'll be kind of a watery based flow that'll allow you to just open out, and we'll be getting into some side plank poses as well. So let's get started with our breath. Come to a nice comfortable seat on your mat or on your pillow. Hello, hello. Welcome. So come to a comfortable seat on your mat, and let's get started with our breath. Begin to close your eyes. Feel your hips press down in towards your mat. Allow your low belly to pull up and in. As your lower ribs pull in, lift through your heart. And just imagine that lightness through your spine as you grow tall through the crown of your head. Let your shoulders peel back as your heart presses forward. Let's begin that deep breath in through our nose. So as you inhale in, imagine that breath drawing in through your nostrils all the way down to the base of your belly. And as you exhale, let that breath fully go out through your nose. So just imagine that breath pouring out through the nostrils. Next, inhale in, deep breath. Let your belly expand with your breath. So you're filling your belly up like a balloon. And let your exhale fully release through the nose. Let everything go. Deep breath in through the nose. Lengthen your breath, deepen your breath, broaden your breath. And as you exhale, let that exhale equal your inhale, just as broad, just as deep. Good. So now we're going to inhale to the count of 5. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now continue that count internally as you inhale in through the nose and out through the nose, creating that Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath. Oceanic sounds in the back of the throat. 2 to 3 more rounds of breath here. Now that we've created this space here on the mat, in the present moment, begin to set an intention for your practice. So that might be why you are here on the mat today. Maybe it's a dedication to someone or something other than yourself. Take a moment, set your intention. And then let's inhale our arms up to the sky. Reach up, flutter your eyelids open. Look up between your fingertips. And as you exhale, take your hands to heart center. Bow your chin. Just take a moment here. Inhale in. And as you exhale out, release your hands. Come onto your mat. Move your pillow or blanket aside if you had one. And let's come into a child's pose. Take your knees out a little bit wider than usual. Toes touch. Let your arms extend out long in front of you. Relax your head and neck. Let your hips press back towards your heels and just take a moment of pause here. Feel your shoulders melt down. Feel your heart melt down towards the earth. One more big breath in here. Now as you inhale, begin to shift forward just slightly. So you lift your hips up off your heels. Now as you inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky, open out. And then reach back towards your hips, circle back. Let's switch sides. Same thing. Inhale, reach up through that left arm, look up, circle back, and all the way back forward. Alternate sides. So as you inhale, reach up towards the sky, roll your right shoulder back, reach back, and then reach forward. Inhale, left arm, rise up, open out, circle all the way back as your hips press back. Flow with your breath now. So switch sides, alternating with your own breath. Big circle through the shoulders. Reach forward and back. Big breath, lift through the hips, and then press your hips back towards your heels. Alternate one more time each side. Reach up, open out. And reach up, open out, roll your shoulder back, maybe even look up. And move back in through your child's pose. Next inhale, begin to shift forward onto hands and knees. Come into your tabletop pose. Take a big breath in, open your heart, tilt your tailbone up to the sky, cow pose. Exhale, begin to curl up and in, tuck your chin, arch your spine, look between your thighs, cat pose. Inhale, open your heart forward, look up, cow. Exhale, cat, arch up and in, ground through your palms and your knees. Just begin to open the heart forward with your breath. And exhale, curl back up and in. Move back and forth through cat-cow pose at your own pace. Let your breath guide your movement. So your inhale will guide your heart forward, while your exhale will pull your belly up and in. Take about 1 to 2 more rounds here. And then begin to add on any movement that you would like. So maybe you begin to circle your hips back towards your heels, come forward, side to side. Just work into the wrists, the knees, maybe all the way up into the head and neck. Let it circle out. And just know that this doesn't have to look like anything in particular. Just allow the body to open up. Get all the little creaks out. Find movement in the spine wherever it feels right. Take some nice circular motions in through the vertebrae. Maybe even tuck the toes, press the hips back to the heels, get a nice stretch through the feet, through the arches. And give yourself another breath or two here, and then we will all meet in our tabletop pose in a neutral spine. So as you make your way back through center, gaze down at the mat. Spread your fingers wide, look between your thumbs. Plant your hands down firmly in towards the earth. Tuck your toes behind you, press your hips back towards your heels, and begin to lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. So we're gonna move through that with our breath. Inhale, bend your knees, let them hover. Exhale, press your hips back, lift your hips to the sky. So it's a nice circular motion. Shift forward slightly. Knees bend, hips press back, lift your hips to the sky.
Inhale, shift forward, knees lower. Exhale, hips back and to the sky. Take that about 2 to 3 more rounds. Inhale, shift forward, knees hover. Exhale, hips back and high to the sky. Inhale, shift forward, knees hover. Exhale, shift back, hips high to the sky. Last time, inhale, shift forward. Let those knees hover. Really press your hips back and up to the sky. Let's settle into our downward dog here. So really ground through those palms. Feel your hips rise high, and you can even pedal through the feet here if that feels good to kind of just work a little bit deeper into your downward dog. Into the feet, into the backs of the legs. And once you settle into your downward dog, feet are hips width distance. Hands are shoulders width distance. Let your shoulders wrap down your back as your hips press towards the sky. Melt your heart towards your thighs. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Let it go. Settle in here. On your next inhale, feel your hips lift high without moving anything through the feet. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step to the top of your mat. All the way up until you reach right between your wrists. Feet are hips width distance. Soften your knees. Take your left hand down to the earth. Tense your fingers. Lengthen your right leg. Take your right arm up to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. Twist open. Big breath in. Look up. Exhale, switch sides. Soften both knees. Take your right hand down. Lengthen your left leg. Roll your left shoulder back. Look up. And exhale, let it go all the way back down to the earth. Soften both knees. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms, and begin to sway side to side. Keep your knees soft or even deeply bent so that the torso can rest on the thighs. Let's gently open that low back. Relax your head and neck. Let it go. Good. Now let's release those hands down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Let your fingertips graze your shins, flat spine, reach the crown of your head forward. And as you exhale, forward fold back in towards your legs. Ground through your feet. Inhale, rise to standing. Reach your arms all the way up and overhead. Extend long through the arms. As you exhale, reach your right arm down by your side. Arch over to the right. Inhale, both arms up through center. Exhale, left arm down, reach over to the left. Inhale, both arms rise high, mountain pose. Exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, baby back bend, lift through your heart. Inhale, reach up high, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold, melt all the way down towards the earth. Inhale, lengthen up, halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take a big breath in here, engage through your core, hips in line with your shoulders. Press your heels back, big inhaling. Now as you exhale, lower your knees, walk your hands forward, Anahasana, puppy dog pose. Reach your arms long out in front of you as your heart melts down towards the mat. Tilt your tailbone up towards the sky. Inhale, shift onto your forearms. Let your knees just slide back as you pull your heart through. Untuck your toes. Create some traction through your forearms so you really feel a nice pull through the heart forward. Lower your chest down. Tent your hands to the outside of your mat. Elbows high and outside. And let's circle those shoulders out, side to side. Work into the heart, the shoulders, the head and neck. Free up through the thoracic spine so that we can work more into that side waist and those hips. Good. Let's come back through center. Hands right under the shoulders. Take an inhale, Cobra Pose. Point those elbows back. Lift through your heart. Slight lift through the chest and chin. Tuck your toes. Exhale. downward facing dog. Let your hips press towards your heels first, and then hips to the sky. Take a big breath in, and a big breath out. Bend your knees, look forward, step, or even lightly hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen just halfway up, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, reach your arms high to the sky. Exhale, sideways stretch to the right. Right hand down by your side, reach over. Inhale, arms rise high. Exhale, side stretch to the left. Roll that right shoulder back. Good. Inhale, reach your arms high. And exhale, back bend. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift through your heart, look up. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, lower your knees, walk your hands forward. Puppy dog pose, heart melts down to the mat, gaze forward. Inhale, shift onto your forearms, slide your knees back, pull your heart through for Sphinx pose. Lift through your chest. And then exhale, lower your heart down, tense your fingers to the outside of your mat, circle your shoulders side to side for free flowing cobra. Make your way back through center, hands under your shoulders. Inhale, lift your heart open, forward cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips to heels, downward facing dog. Full round of breath here. Big inhale in. And exhale it out. Bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet together, bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Relax through your shoulders. Sit weight back in towards your heels. Take a slight tuck of your tailbone. Let your shoulders draw down and away from your ears while you're still reaching up high. Big breath in. Good, now exhale, hands to the earth, hips high, fold in, relax your head and neck. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take an inhale, breath in. Now as you exhale, we're gonna lower through chaturanga. Feel free to take your first chaturanga on your knees for half. Either way, when you inhale in, engage your core. Take an exhale, elbows point straight back, keep them close in towards your torso. Lower halfway down. And then inhale, scoop through, upward facing dog. Roll to the tops of your feet, lift through your heart. Exhale, roll back through your toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises high to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. So you can begin to roll that right ankle out. Just find some nice movement in through the toes and the ankle. Feel good opening through the hip as you ground the palms down evenly and towards the mat. One more breath here. Reach that right knee high. Now as you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest and then reach your right knee towards your right elbow. Maybe it touches. Inhale, right leg back up to the sky. Reach it high, stretch it long. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up, crescent pose. Reach your arms up high. Relax your shoulders, square your hips forward. Deep breath in. Now as you exhale, we're gonna open to warrior two. So back heel grounds down. Right knee opens out to the right slightly so that you can see your right big toe down underneath you. Relax your shoulders, gaze forward.
Turn your right palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior, lengthen back. Now as you exhale, just windmill those hands down to the earth. Spin onto your back toes. Right leg, reach it all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog. If you would like to flow through a vinyasa, take your vinyasa here. Good. Let's move on to the left side. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee. Stack your hips open. And let's begin to just circle that left foot out. Ground through your right heel. Just feel a nice opening through the inner thigh and the hip. Ground through your palms. Reach that left knee high, big inhale. Now as you exhale, begin to hug your left knee towards your chest. Maybe even touch that left shoulder as you reach your knee towards the left elbow. Inhale, extend your left leg back straight up to the sky. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise through Crescent Pose. Reach your arms up high so that back leg is strong and straight. Hips square forward, relax the shoulders. Take a breath in. As you exhale out, open. Warrior two, back heel grounds down. Find a nice opening through your hips as your left knee opens to the left. Relax your shoulders down. Turn your left palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. Lengthen through that left side. Now as you exhale, just windmill those hands down to the earth. Spin onto your back toes. Here you can flow through your chaturanga and upward dog, back to down dog, or straight into your downward facing dog. Your choice, your practice. Big breath in. And big breath out. We'll all meet in our downward dog. And on our next exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop, top of the mat. Take an inhale in, lengthen halfway up, lift, flat spine. Exhale, forward, fold, relax your head and neck. Take your feet together, bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Relax your shoulders, sit your hips back. Exhale, hands to the earth, hips high, fold in. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. And exhale, plant your palms, step, or even hop your feet back. Take an inhale in your plank pose. And as you exhale, lower chaturanga, halfway. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen your arms, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here. Good, let's move on to that right side leg. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. As you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Take your right knee towards your right elbow, tap. Inhale, right leg back straight to the sky. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place the foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise, Crescent Pose. Use your breath, exhale, open, warrior two. Good, inhale, reach up and back, reverse. Now listen closely. As you exhale, reach both hands all the way towards the left corner of your mat. Relax your head and neck and just reach away. So you'll really feel this stretch through the inner right hip. Let that right knee stay opening out wide. Ground through that back heel. Good. Now begin to walk your hands towards the back of your mat. Bend your left knee, lengthen your right leg. You can keep your hands right underneath your shoulders, or you can have your hands at heart center. Wherever you are, keep your hips in line with your shoulders. Ground through that left heel. Good. Now inhale, take your time. Move all the way back up to the top of your mat. Spin onto your back toes into a low lunge.
Send your right leg back up to the sky or flow through your vinyasa. We'll all meet in downward dog. Inhale, take your left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Let your left knee tap your left shoulder. And then inhale, extend straight back up to the sky. Exhale, hug your knee towards your chest. Place the foot to the top of your mat. Rise, crescent pose, reach your arms high. Exhale, open, warrior two. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse your warrior. Now listen closely. As you exhale, reach both hands towards the top right corner of your mat. So it's like you're reaching away. Keep your left knee deeply bent so you'll feel this deep in your hips and through your side waist. Relax your head and neck as you reach. Go ahead, take another inhale to begin to walk your hands all the way to the back of your mat. Lengthen your left leg as your right knee bends, coming into our side lunge. So in your side lunge, your hands can be right under your shoulders, hips in line with your shoulders. You can stay right here, maybe even take your hands to heart center for a breath. Get deep in your hips. Good, and then slowly crawl back towards the top of your mat. Spin onto your back toes. Send your left foot back to meet the right and either flow through a vinyasa or take your left leg all the way up to the sky. Three-legged dog. Let's take a full round of breath here. Full round of breath out. We'll all meet in our downward dog and take another round of breath in your downward dog here. Resettle the breath. Refocus the breath. Good. Now bend your knees. Look forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, lengthen up halfway, lift flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Now as you exhale, reach your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders down and away, lift your heart. And as you exhale, begin to forward fold. Let your hands kind of come over the crown of your head. Keep your hands interlaced. Palms together if you can. Relax your head and neck here. Maybe shake your head out, yes and no. Feel a deep stretch through the shoulders and the backs of the legs. Good. Last full breath here. Now as you exhale, release your hands down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Now as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into high plank pose. Shift your left hand to the center of your mat. Turn all 10 toes to the right. Right arm rises up to the sky for side plank pose. Keep your hips stacked, your shoulders stacked. Flex through your feet. Lift up through those hips so you feel your obliques engage here. Take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, take your right hand down. Come back through high plank pose. Inhale in. And exhale, take your right hand to the center. Turn all 10 toes to the left. Left arm to the sky, stack your hips, stack your shoulders, lift through that left arm. Feel your hips lift up high as you engage your obliques. Flex through your feet, deep breath, maybe even look up to that left thumb. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, take your left hand down to the earth, come into high plank pose. Take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, take your knees down. Walk your hands forward, puppy dog pose. Melt your heart down as you gaze forward. Inhale, shift onto your forearms. Slide your knees back, pull your heart through. Lift, Sphinx pose. Exhale, lower your heart. Hands tent to the outsides of your mat. Begin to roll those shoulders back one at a time. Circle it out. Good, and then make your way back through center. Hands under your shoulders. Take an inhale, low cobra. Lift through your heart. And exhale, tuck your toes. Hips press back towards your heels. Lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Now as you inhale, extend your right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest, and then take your right knee, tap your right elbow. Inhale, right leg back straight to the sky. Exhale, hug your right knee in, place your right foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise, Crescent Pose. Exhale, open, Warrior Two. Relax through your shoulders. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Now as you exhale, take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, open your chest. And then exhale, bow to the inside of that right leg. Relax your head and neck. So it's similar to that previous pose we took where we're reaching to the top left corner of our mat. But we're getting a bit of a shoulder stretch here. Relax your head and neck. All right, now let's release those hands down to the earth. Walk our hands to the center of the mat. Turn your toes in, heels out. Take an inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. And then as you exhale, forward fold between the legs. So you have a couple options with your hands. You can grab a hold of the outer blades of your feet. You can reach your hands through, kind of crawling them away. Or you can take your peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes. Wherever you like to settle in, find that comfortable spot for your hands. Think about lengthening your spine down towards the earth so your head and neck are relaxed and lengthening. Hips lift up high. There's a softness to your quads. Good. Wherever your hands are, take them back underneath your face. Take an inhale, lift up, lengthen. Now as you exhale, walk those hands over to the left leg, lengthen your right leg, come into Skandasana, our side lunge. So again, your hands can be right underneath your shoulders, hips in line with your shoulders. Maybe your hips sink low, hands come to heart center. Get deep in those hips. Now some people like to flex that right foot, others like to keep the foot on the earth. Whatever feels right through the inner thigh and the hip, practice that today. Good, now let's inhale. Walk our hands as we lift our hips all the way up to the top of the mat. Turn your right toes forward, spin onto your back toes. Lower your back knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up into low lunge. Square your hips off, relax through your shoulders. Slight tuck of your tailbone. Let your hips sink low so you're really getting deep into the front of that left hip. Good. Big breath in, lift through your heart. Now as you exhale, take your hands down, shift your hips back, flex your right foot, half splits. Relax your head and neck, fold in. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift heart towards your toes. Exhale, forward fold. Next, inhale, breath, let's shift back into a low lunge. Tuck your back toes. Put weight into your right foot. As you shift forward, begin to lift your left leg up off the mat. Maybe eventually lift it even higher. Open through the hips, relax your head and neck. Keep your right foot grounded down. Relax your head down. Walk your hands a little bit closer to your right foot. Standing splits. Deep breath in. Now as you exhale, let that left foot land softly all the way at the back of your mat. Right leg, reach it up to the sky through three-legged dog. Extend high. Exhale, lower that right foot down to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. And as you exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Take that left knee all the way towards your left elbow tap. Inhale, extend your left leg to the sky. Exhale, place your left foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise, Crescent Pose. Exhale, open, Warrior Two. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse. Now as you exhale, take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders down your back, lift through your heart. And as you exhale, begin to bow to the inside of that left leg, reaching your crown of your head towards the right top corner of your mat. So you should feel a deep stretch in your shoulders and your hips. Try to relax your head and neck down. Get deep in those hips. Stay low in that left leg. Beautiful. Release your hands down to the earth. Walk your hands to the center of your mat. Turn your toes in, heels out. So line up your feet in a straight line. Take an inhale, lengthen up, halfway lift. As you exhale, forward fold between your legs. So you can take your hands again wherever you would like. Let the crown of your head melt towards the earth. Hips lift high. Feel your spine grow long. Crown of your head heavy towards the earth. Feel your inner thighs open out. Hamstrings open. Feel your quads engage a little bit so you lift the kneecaps. And then you can lift through your hip bones. Take one more breath. Good. Next inhale, begin to walk your hands up to the center of your mat. Begin to shift to your right leg. Bend your right leg. Lengthen your left leg out for Skandasana, side lunge. So in your side lunge, you can always have your hands supporting you here and have your hips in line with your shoulders. If you want to get even deeper into those hips, sink those hips low and begin to take your hands maybe towards heart center, challenging the balance and letting that right knee open out to the right, sitting those hips down low, getting deep into the inner thigh. Stay with the breath, one more, inhale. And take those hands down to the earth. Shift to the center of your mat as you walk your hands all the way to the top. Spin your toes forward, lower your right knee down. Inhale into a low lunge. Let your hips square forward. Pull your tailbone down and in. Shoulders relax down the back as you lift through your heart. Really get low in the hips so you feel that nice stretch to the front of your right psoas. One more breath. Now as you exhale, take your hands down to the earth. Shift your hips back, flex your left foot. Take an inhale, lengthen up, halfway lift. And as you exhale, melt towards your left leg for half splits. Remember, come to your degree in this pose. So you might be lifted up with your hands on your hips. Maybe you're taking another inhale to deepen your pose here, letting your exhale melt you closer towards your left leg. Keep your hips squared off. Good, next breath. Let's inhale, shift forward onto our left foot. Tuck your right toes. So you want to put all the weight in that left foot. Shift your weight forward. Lift your right foot up off your mat. Coming into your version of standing splits. So it's okay if your leg is just slightly lifted up off the mat, or maybe you lift your leg all the way up. Wherever you are, find your edge, your degree where you're growing, getting a little bit more into the hips and hamstrings. Let your head and neck relax as you walk your hands closer towards your left ankle to get a little bit deeper in the posture. One more big breath in, reach that right leg high. And then as you exhale, let that right foot send all the way to the back of the mat, softly land and lower. Inhale, left leg high to the sky, reach up. Three-legged dog, exhale, downward facing dog, full breath in and full breath out. Inhale, shift forward, high plank pose. Take your left hand to the center of your mat. Turn all 10 toes to the right, right arm to the sky. So we're back in our side plank pose. If you would like to move on to another layer here, maybe you reach your right leg up and just let it hover. If you want even more, you can grab a hold of your right foot. This is like a level 3, so for you yogis who know Vashisthasana, full side plank pose, you can take your right leg and lift it up towards the sky. Use your peace fingers around that right big toe to reach up, engage your core, lift, and then slowly release. Take your right foot down, right hand down. Shift back through high plank, and we'll switch sides. Take your right hand underneath your right shoulder in the center of your mat. So shift over. Let your hips and shoulders stack. Come into traditional side plank pose, and you can stay right here. You may even be right here with your right knee down in modified side plank. Wherever you are, if you would like to move on to another layer, you can begin to pick your left leg up off the right and stay right here, engage through your core. If you want to move into full Vashisthasana, your left peace fingers come around your left big toe. Maybe you extend that left leg to the sky, stack your shoulders, stack your hips, engage your core, lift up. Keep your gaze steady, one more breath. Release your left foot, take your left hand down to the mat, high plank pose, one breath here. And then lower your knees. Shift your hips back. Come up to seated on your heels. So after those plank poses, we're gonna take a nice wrist stretch. So just take your hands, interlace your fingers, and begin to circle your wrists out. Circle side to side. You can even work into the head and neck. And then switch your grip. So take whichever thumb is on the bottom, switch it to the top. And now let's circle those wrists out. Big circular motions. You can even work into the head and neck here. Take one ear towards one shoulder. Let those poses go. Good. Let's release our hands down to the earth. One more wrist and forearm stretch. Turn your fingers towards your knees. Come into a tabletop pose with those knees right behind your fingertips. And just gently shift back. You should feel a stretch through your forearms and your wrists. Good, let's shift forward. Come to the backs of your hands. Fingers are still pointing towards your knees. And again, gently shift back. Stretch through the forearms and the wrists. Good, now let's shift back forward. Plant your palms. Sit back onto your heels. And let's shift our hips to either side. Extend your legs out long in front of you. Flex through your feet. Lift through your heart, shoulders back. Take an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, lift through your heart, hinge forward. Reach all the way out in front of your toes.
And then let your arms just relax by your sides. Relax your head down. Let your chest melt towards your thighs. Keep your feet flexed here. Let your torso melt in. Deep breath in, lift through your heart just slightly. Roll your shoulders back and fold in. Good, begin to roll back up, inhale. Take your hands by your sides, shift forward. Take your right heel as you lean back. Right knee towards your chest, right heel to the top of your left knee. Flex your right foot. Begin to walk your hands closer towards your right shin as you press your heart towards your right leg. So if you want more in this pose, if you're not really feeling it a whole lot in that right hip, you can begin to scoot your hips even closer towards your right heel and lift your chest even more. So see, I'm coming back up onto the fingertips behind me and pressing my chest even closer towards my shin. You'll feel it even deeper in that right outer hip. Good, keep that right foot flexed. Gently come out of this by releasing your spine down. Take your right leg back up to the sky and lower your right foot down. We'll switch sides. So take your left knee towards your chest, left ankle to the top of your right knee. Flex your left foot. Take an inhale as you lift your chest towards your legs. Maybe you walk your hands closer towards your hips to get deeper in this pose. You can even walk that right ankle closer, kind of scoot in with every breath. Deep inhale and lift. Shoulders back, heart towards your shin. Good, and then gently release. Walk your hands back out. Take your left leg, reach it back forward. Both feet, hips width distance. Hands reach out on either side and just begin to slowly lower down. Come onto your back. Let your heels come up close towards your hips. Ground through your feet and we'll move into bridge pose. So make sure your feet are hips width distance, knees hips width distance. Ground through your heels. Begin to lift your hips towards the sky as you shimmy your shoulders up underneath your back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Feel your hips lift up high. Open your eyes. Scoot your shoulders up underneath. Keep your knees hips width distance. Gently begin to release your spine back down towards the earth. Let it go. Once your low back touches the ground, begin to hug your knees in towards your chest. And then reach for the outer blades of your feet for happy baby pose. Let each knee rotate to either side. Maybe you pull one knee down further than the other. So you're really getting deep into those hips and shoulders as you melt your spine down towards the earth. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Release your hands from your feet. Extend your legs straight up to the sky. And let's just circle those ankles out. Shake your legs out. Make them like jello. Let your legs feel released. Maybe even reach your arms up and roll your wrists out. Squeeze through your hands. Open through your hands. Curl your toes in. Open them out. Spread them wide. Let's feel that blood flow release from the feet, from the hands. All right, let's hug those knees back in towards our chest. And let's wrap our right leg around the left. So let's cross the legs. Scoot your hips to the right slightly as you drop your knees to the left. Right arm out to the right, twist your spine. So keep your shoulders down on the earth. Gaze out to the right. Feel a nice deep stretch through the low back and the outer hip. Decompress the spine. And let's come back through center. Switch sides. Wrap your left leg around your right. Scoot your hips to the left and begin to rock your knees over to the right. Gaze to the left. Keep your shoulders down on the earth. Steady, deep breath in and out through the nose. Feel that decompression through the low back. Last breath here. Take your time, move back through center. Unravel your legs. Hug your knees back up in and towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. Maybe even take your forehead towards your knees. Curl up into a tiny little ball. Deep breath in. Now as you exhale, just let everything go. Let your legs drop out long. Let your palms rise up by your sides. Backs of the hands melt to the earth. Close your eyes. Begin to allow yourself to just melt in towards your mat. Release all control of the breath. Let the face soften. Slowly become aware of your senses. What are the sounds that you hear around you? And just listen, hear, but not become attached. What do you feel around you? Cool earth beneath your feet. And begin to bring awareness back into your breath slowly. So as you inhale in, feel your belly rise with your breath. Allow just gentle movements to arise in your fingers and toes, letting the body just awaken slowly. And keep your eyes closed. And whichever way naturally arises, you can begin to make your way up into an easy seated position in your own time, in your own way. And once you do meet me in an easy seated position, keep your eyes closed and take your hands to heart center. Bow your chin. Take a moment here. How the body feels, how the mind feels at the end of your practice. Take a moment to express gratitude and honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice this morning. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything that you want to let me know that you want to see in class or practice or learn, feel free to comment below, send me a message. You can reach me at Instagram at Katie Marie Yoga, or even here on YouTube, where don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like what you saw today, hit a thumbs up, and thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Aloha.